Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All right, so how was that weekend for a non-football weekend? My goodness, we crammed a lot of compelling sports in. We're going to talk about it, and it goes all summer long. Basketball, golf, baseball. It was a fun weekend, and we will hit a lot of it today from 4 to 6. Hi, everybody. Terry Norvelle sitting right here in the Action Sports Jack studios with a lot on the schedule today. Hope to hear from Patrick a little bit later. We will take things out of bounds about 4:35, the lighter side of sports, with our buddy comedian Mike Freed. It's always a fun time when he comes in studio or joins us on the phone. We'll talk with Mike about some fun sports stuff that's going on. Remember, it's only just sports. That's all it is. It's not really that important. Brent Beard should join us about 5:30. We do have a lot to cover. We now have a NBA Finals set. We got a few days to go over this, but we'll start looking at it a little bit as the NBA Finals will start on Thursday. That's right, Thursday. Indiana taking on Oklahoma City. 2-2-1-1-1. Oklahoma City, the home court advantage right now. They are a 1 seed, I believe, and Indiana is a 4 seed. Oklahoma City kind of had the best of the two-game series in the regular season, 2-0 Oklahoma City. They played in December, and it was all Oak City. SGA went for 45, and then they got together in February. Remember, Indiana, they had a losing record until January, so they didn't get really started. But OKC kind of had their way. SGA, as I said, in Game 1, had 45 against Indiana. And then Game 2, they played 2 games this year in the regular season. Oklahoma City, combined in the second and third quarters, had 84 points. An 84-point second and third quarter. Goodness gracious. A lot of these teams like to run. They like to have a lot of possessions. And it looks for the life, and we'll get back into it as the week progresses, but it looks the life that it will be a 5-1. Casey, I think you're busy there real quick, but I think you kind of intimated that this is OKC's. It's their championship to lose, right? I mean, OKC's the better team.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Oklahoma City should be able to get it done relatively easy. Although Indiana, man, they fight. I give you that.
They do. They really do. But yeah, everything I'm looking at says, man, if they don't screw around and get behind or lose home court. By the way, God bless the NBA Finals. Here are the 7 games scheduled. Okay, you ready? And I get it. You don't know when both series are going to be done. The finals will start Thursday. Here are the 7 scheduled days coming up this Thursday. Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday. The beautiful thing is Thursday, the thing starts in Oklahoma City. No travel Friday, no travel Saturday. Just take those days off. Casey. Then they get back together on Sunday.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah. Okay, so of course then they will take Monday and Tuesday off to get to Indiana for Wednesday's game. Just take another day off Thursday, even though there's no travel. Then they'll play Friday. And if it's not a sweep, it'll be 1-1-1 Monday, Thursday, Sunday, in case you're wondering. That would be your final 3. God bless TV. God bless TV.
I guess so.
I guess so. A lot of baseball to cover. We got a lot of Major League Baseball stuff I want to get into. We'll get to it in a moment. But Jack Caglione called up to the big club. They're off today. The Royals off today. There's a light schedule in Major League Baseball today, kind of a getaway travel day. Kansas City tomorrow, Jack Caglione will be in the lineup. I mean, they got a full day to traveling to get him there. And Caglione called up the Royals. 8 games out of first place in their division, but they're in the thick of things. I know it's early. They're in the thick of things with regard to one of the 3 wild card spots. And Kansas City, my God, they need power. They've got little power. They give up only a few runs comparatively to the league, but man, they don't score any. I think I saw where they're down in Rockies territory runs scored. They just don't score a lot of runs, so they need a big bat.
They have not hit well.
No, not at all. And Casey, we've talked, and you've talked as well. That's a concern. I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to get up there, and Cagliano's going to keep hitting warehouses 450 feet away. I mean, it's Major League pitching. I know AAA's close.
Yeah, he's more likely not going to do that.
Yeah.
If he's just half of that, then that's kind of what you're buying into.
And there's a lot of talk. It looks like we talked last week. I can remember we brought it up a little bit. He has, once he got up to AAA, and he only played 15, 20 games, I think, at AAA. Mm-hmm. He's only played like 50-something in his minor league career. But once he got to AAA, like several weeks ago, they've been playing him in the outfield. It looks like he's going to play the outfield.
I mean, they have a first baseman. That's why.
Yeah, they got a first baseman, and, why not go ahead and leave the DH open, right, if you can? I mean, this is a team that needs a bat.
Yeah, you don't want to pencil in a guy to be a DH.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst case scenario.
And
eventually, maybe. But
especially a young guy like this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And get another bat in there, There may be somebody that's, not a great fielder, but a little bit of a bat. And I think Cags, as athletic as he is, he can learn to play. He made deer in headlights a little bit out there, don't you think, early? But I think he could learn to play a serviceable outfield. You
don't have to win the Platinum Glove.
Yeah, and while he's, his
just
first.
Catch it while they hit it.
Yeah, catch it. Don't do anything stupid. Certainly, you would think, he'd had plenty of arm.
He's got an arm, that's fair.
Yeah, but
probably too good of an arm for first base, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably. A lot of baseball, a lot of college baseball. I want to get into a ton of college baseball. Man, Florida State, you Seminole fans, let me tell you what's going on right now. You won, obviously, the Seminoles won their regional, right, in Tallahassee. You, Florida State, you're off tonight, but you got a baseball game to watch. 6 o'clock, West Coast. You've got Oregon State hosting USC in Corvallis, Oregon. Oregon State is the 8th seed overall. The Corvallis Regional is paired up with the Tallahassee Regional. If Oregon State wins 6 o'clock first pitch, Oregon State will stay at home by virtue. They are paired up with Tallahassee, and they're a higher seed. So Florida State would then have to travel for the Super Regional, a smooth Tallahassee to Corvallis, just a smooth 2,325 miles. Oof. That's all.
Oof.
That's all. Now,
that's rough.
Now, if USC can beat Oregon State this evening, Florida State would host. USC is a non-seeded. Florida State's 9. So Florida State would stay in Tallahassee. Wow, what an advantage. USC in this scenario, Casey, would only have to travel a smooth 2,255 miles to Tallahassee.
Dang, not my problem. That's on y'all.
How about that?
That's somebody else's problem.
One team is jumping on a plane probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
For either a 2,300 or a 2,200-mile trip to go play at least 2 games, maybe 3.
Make it be USC.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So, Florida State fans, note that. Even if you don't watch the game, 6 o'clock, check in. You want USC to beat Oregon State. Kind of working back with teams that played decent. Obviously, Florida State played real well. He eliminated Mississippi State last night in a did you see any of that game? It got tense, man. It was tight.
It was.
It was chippy, and FSU took care of it late bomb.
FSU's good, man.
They are good. And
they're catching back on. They went on a slump, and
they
now
really
they're hot
did.
again.
Casey, they really did. They scuffled the last couple of weeks. They really didn't play. They got pretty deep in their conference. They had a triple 1,000 bye, right? They didn't have to play for
that's right
9 days. But
yes, the round robin.
You're right. Two weeks before the conference tournament, they weren't playing their best ball. They look back, and boy, did you see any of? I've known how good he is. Jamie Arnold, their ace.
Very good.
They were saying again last night he may be the first pick of the draft.
I mean, listen, I don't remember who's picking first, so that'll play in a huge part of it. But if you're not going to cheap out and you truly want to do this the right way, you pick that kid first. You do not pick a high schooler to save money.
I watched him 2 nights ago, and he just shoved it. I mean, really good pitcher. He's lefty. He's got, who he reminds me of? A thinner, younger, because he's thinner and younger, than a prime Chris Sale. He's got that arm
slot, for sure.
He kind of he's not sidearm, but he kind of
it's a little low.
And great command. Throws strikes. Yeah, it was impressive the other night. Mississippi State was impressive, too, with what they've gone through. But, yeah, FSU too much. I stopped on Georgia. Goodness gracious, Georgia Bulldog fans. I feel for you. Casey, I don't know how much. I watched so much baseball, so much college baseball over the weekend. I caught both. Obviously, Georgia won. They beat Binghamton 20-4 or whatever.
Saw that.
That was just kind of a walkover.
As it should be.
Georgia hosting at home. They lost their last 2 games. Their season's over. My God, those were wonderful games. Saturday night, Georgia versus Duke, dripping with drama. I mean, what a game. Duke and Georgia went at it. Duke's baseball program's gotten really good. Their coach, they got to hold on to their coach, man. He's nice. Duke just broke Georgia's heart. Dogs had to come back at noon and play at their own park against Oklahoma State. And Casey, it was almost the same game. Oklahoma State and Georgia yesterday went at it. It was Ali Frey. Oh, good baseball. Felt for the Georgia Bulldogs. They lose. And, Casey, what happened to Georgia on your home field can only happen in tournament action. The only way Georgia got how about this? Let me describe this. In case you're a baseball guy, you'll know all this. Yesterday, the Georgia Bulldog baseball team got walked off on their own field and then for another day and a half had to host the tournament. That is brutal.
It does not get worse.
It does not get. I mean, the tournament doesn't just quit being hosted in Athens because the host team. You then have to go roll out the carpet for Oklahoma State and Duke, 1 or 2 games. But you are But getting back to it, people may not understand the nuances of baseball all the way. It's impossible to get walked off at your own field in a regular game because if it's your home field, you get final at bat. Well, in tournament action, such as yesterday,
that's brutal.
It flops back and forth, right? You can't just say the home team gets every game at home.
Yeah, that's bad. And there was at least, 5, 6 of those kids that'll never play again?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got walked off.
That's it?
So Oklahoma State, bottom of the ninth, because that particular game, they were the home team. It goes back and forth. So Georgia, their season ended as they were walked off on Foley Field. Ouch. In a great game. I mean, great game. Dude with only 4 home runs goes oppo. I don't know if you know anything about Georgia's ballpark. I've played there before. Obviously, I was never a home run hitter. I played there 2 years in a row, 4 or 5 games when I was at JU. Foley Field, and Casey, again, your baseball knowledge, I don't think anybody has ever figured it out or will ever figure it out, but some ballparks, the ball just flies out. Foley Field is, in certain areas, a gigantic park. You realize down the left field line, it's 350.
Jeez.
350. Down the right field line, it's 315. But I'm telling you, both lines play the same. The ball flies out of Foley Field. I don't know why. And there's other parks that are just the opposite. You can't hit it 3 times and hit it out.
Definitely.
But there was just enough home runs, just enough drama. Oh, you feel for Georgia. And then the Gators absolutely stunk up the joint. Now, I'm going to give Florida a bit of a pass, but I'm going to get on them here in a minute. The pass is injuries are part of sports. Florida did have an inordinate amount of injuries. And we've talked about, there's a baseball adage, you're only as strong as you are up the middle in baseball. Catcher, short, second, center fielder. Florida basically for the second half of the season had second and third string guys playing every catcher, second string, shortstop, second string, which moved your third baseman over, which gave you a huge hole with a non-third baseman. Second baseman, backup, Cade Curlin, basically played a week. Starting center fielder blew it out in the first week of the season as well. I'll give Florida a bit of a break, but my God. Effort, game plan, really lacked. And Casey, I've got to bring this up. Win one for the bunt.
Okay.
The basic, one of the basic plays in baseball from Little League up.
I'm familiar with the bunt. I didn't bunt much, but yeah.
Since there has been the game of baseball until about 15 years ago, the bunt was the cousin of the walk and the strikeout and the hit. And, the bunt.
You could say maybe the first thing ever invented in baseball.
Maybe.
What should we do first? We should bunt.
Casey, it was amazing. The bunt basically said to all of college baseball the last 3 days, hold my beer. College baseball, like all sports, when you get into postseason, things tighten up. Generally, you don't score quite as much. Every base is fought for, tight. You need to move runners. You look up, and it's desperation time. You're not in a try to win a weekend series mode. You're in try to keep your season alive a lot of time mode. Mm-hmm. So everything is ratcheted up. Casey, it was hung. I watched so much baseball. Two things around the bunt. Number one, I must have seen a million teams offensively try to bunt and botch it. Absolutely botch it.
Disappointing.
The flip side of that, all weekend, I can't count, and Florida was the leading culprit. I can't count how many times defensively teams botched the defensive bunt play. Absolutely botched it all over the world over the weekend. And you know what? As a guy that kind of played that style to a degree, that particularly the East Carolina team that beat Florida's brains out 2 games in a row. They were a small ball team. The bunt, the extra base, look for the ball in the dirt, hustle. They beat Florida's brains out.
They did.
They bunted Florida's brains out. Florida couldn't defend, and they weren't the only team. And Casey, why does that happen? Well, teams are so worried all year about throwing at 150 miles an hour, and they get their outs by striking out or pop-ups. You know, everybody pops up now. Mm-hmm. Pop-ups or strikeouts, and then nobody bunts. But then they get it. They're down 2-1 in the 8th.
We're bunting.
We need to bunt. You know what they did? Just like everybody else, when they go take BP, first one, lay it down, boom, that's it.
We're good.
Right? So you've got teams that in game action don't bunt offensively, and you've got teams that in game action don't defend the bunt. Dude, it was brutal. I don't know if you saw, but it was across the country brutal. Nobody can bunt or handle the bunt.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Maybe practice it a little more.
Yeah, you think?
Especially defensively, but yeah, the bunt, good run for the bunt, and that'll probably be it because you won't see it in Major League Baseball. So we'll catch up with the bunt next
Not much.
Late May. We'll see you then.
You won't see it much, and then the playoff baseball that you watch. Occasionally, playoff baseball, it will just happen. It'll call for a bunt somewhere. It'll be 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th, and Major League guys will botch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, just botch it.
Common botch. You know what's interesting about the Gators and the disaster that played out for them? And obviously this is easy for me to say because I don't coach the Gators, but Kevin O'Sullivan is, in my opinion, pretty safe in his job.
Agreed.
And he could have pretty much done whatever he wanted here, taking a team that started off 0 whatever they were in SEC play and getting to where they were. I wonder if there was ever a conversation not to pitch Aiden King.
Oh, Gator Nation got into that too.
I mean, on Saturday night.
I look at it now, and I don't want to be, revisionist history guy, but yeah, I mean, you were going to beat Fairfield.
You should be able to roll out the balls and beat them.
You were going to beat Fairfield. Coppola, to his defense, his last couple outings, he's had control, but his history, he's only pitched a little bit. He's had 3 separate arm situations, and he on the mound more than not his 3 years at Florida, limited as they were, he was much more Jack Caglione on the mound that cannot throw a strike than Coppola mowing down 12. And you're facing, facing a team that. ECU, the last thing game 2 you wanted to do was let them get ahead again and dictate. They dictated 2 games to Florida.
They did.
You wonder. Now, his theory was, and I think his theory was, okay, we're down 1, lose the next one, we go home.
Sure.
The last thing I want to do is get on the bus, head to the airport, and King never got on the mound.
Listen,
but you were going to beat Fairfield.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Kevin O'Sullivan, if that would have happened, I think he still survives that.
I do too.
He looks people dead in the face and say, yeah, I made the wrong decision, but I thought we could have beat them. Clearly I was wrong. Like, you got to own up to it for sure. But Because for transparency, on Saturday night we had an Armada game, so we were doing that.
Yeah.
And I remember walking into like the sports office after, and I was like, "Oh, Aiden King is pitching into the 7th inning in this game, and it's 6,000-0.
Yeah.
Like I think this was a mistake. Like you could, not every coach in the country could survive a mistake like that if that would have happened. But I feel like as an SEC team who is pretty good, you should be able to beat Fairfield if your 6 is pitching.
And he'll kick himself for that. Probably, Now, they would have had to win a couple afterwards and, beat Coastal Carolina. A little spinoff, I didn't watch one pitch of the second game from the region. Where Coastal Carolina beat ECU 1-0. In game 5 or what, you would have never in a million years told me that was going to be a 1-0 game.
True.
1-0.
It's rare these days.
Game. So
because everybody else is 6-7.
Yeah, and
8, 9,
Coastal beat them the first time they faced them 17-8 or 18-7, something like that. So game going on right now. So we've got some action right now, and this evening tonight, North Carolina leading in the top of the 4th. Carolina leading Oklahoma. Obviously, everything today is move on or go home.
Yep.
So we have. Get back to this.
That was a good one last night. The first of this too. I watched a lot of.
A good game.
Yeah, I mean it was. Oklahoma was up a lot early. Then North Carolina came back. Then Oklahoma scored some more. Then North Carolina made it interesting again. And then obviously they're still playing baseball today, so Oklahoma won.
Yeah.
But
so and this is in Chapel Hill. So Oklahoma really is probably further along than they should be. Decent team, not great, but hey, live, see what happens. So North Carolina leading 7-2 in their elimination game. Winner goes on to Super, loser goes home. Real quick before I set the schedule for the rest of the day, evening, and night, we've got 10 teams that have moved on. There'll be 16 total teams to move on to the Super Regional. Obviously, 8 Super Regionals of 2 teams each. Florida State, Texas, San Antonio. We'll get to that in a minute. Florida State, UTSA, Texas, San Antonio, Arizona, West Virginia, Arkansas, UCLA, Louisville, Coastal Carolina, Auburn, and Duke. Those 10 are in.
I like that, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of those names you said there are not like.
Yep.
We'll talk about the names that aren't there, but there's a lot of different there.
Yeah. Texas, San Antonio.
That's one of the different ones.
How about they go to Dish Falk Field, knock off number 2 Texas, and I didn't know this. They're 3-0 this year against Texas. I guess they played one midweek game.
Or something, yeah.
You know how big that plays in that state? My God.
That's
little teeny Texas San Antonio knocked out Texas.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. If you don't like, if you're a Texas fan, obviously it's miserable, cool. But.
And there was one bigger upset. Wright State. Yeah. Wright State.
How about that?
Knocks off Vanderbilt, the 1 overall seed, and the SEC tournament champion.
Wow.
Where is Wright State? Is that Louisiana? Where the hell is Wright State?
I'll look it up.
And Casey, they should have swept them.
It is in Greene County, Ohio.
The Wright State Raiders. Did you hear what happened in the first game between them?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it.
Manager took out the pitcher in the 6th. No hitter, threw 76 pitches. Takes him out. Vandy rallies. Beats him.
Wild.
Ooh. So, let me set the stage. We've got multiple games where we will finish out the 16. So 6 teams will win and get in tonight. 6 more will go home, and we'll get together on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday if needed for Supers. Monday's kind of a weather day. Well, no, I think half the field will start Friday and half the field will start on Saturday. North Carolina leading Oklahoma right now, top of the 4th, 7-2. Later tonight, 6 o'clock, FSU fans, this is the game you need to watch. ESPNU, ESPN+, USC at Oregon State. If Oregon State wins, Florida State goes well over 2,000 miles to play the Super at Oregon State. If USC beats Oregon State, the Super Regional will be in Tallahassee. Big game for the Noles and Noles fans, 6 o'clock tonight. Murray State at Ole Miss. Winner moves on. These are all winner moves on. SEC Network, ESPN+.
Come on, Murray State.
Murray State trying to knock off another SEC team. Also 6 o'clock tonight in a pretty good regional that these 2 teams locked up pretty good yesterday. Wake Forest and Tennessee.
Yep.
Winner take all in Knoxville. Also 6 o'clock, first pitch. We move on. Couple more games as we try to fill out the field. 9 o'clock. These last two are at 9 o'clock. You've got Little Rock taking on LSU. Little Rock's already beat them once.
Mm-hmm.
Little Rock, LSU, one team moves on. That's 9 o'clock, ESPN2, ESPN+. And then you talk about a quiet team in this tournament. They barely got in. 9 o'clock, ESPNU, ESPN+. Southern Miss hosting the Hattiesburg Regional, of course, the Miami Hurricanes. Have you even heard of Miami the last 3 days? Have you seen them?
I saw a little bit of the first game, but that's about it.
Miami, currently 33-25, and that's after a couple wins in this tournament. They barely got in.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, has this little mini run helped the Miami program and also the J.D. Arteaga, longtime player, a coach, head coach now, and he scuffled for a couple of years. Kind of inherited that job on the staff when they fired their last guy. So
could use a win tonight.
Yeah, he could. And the tip of the hat, Stetson had a pretty good postseason.
Yeah,
showing.
They did.
They
almost did it.
They knocked off NC State in one game and then just ran out of gas. And see the guy run into the wall yesterday? Oh, center fielder ate it.
Ooh.
Ate it.
He catch the ball?
No.
Okay.
Caught it, had it, fell, and it came out.
Yeah, that's tough.
And he didn't move. Inside the park home run, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't move, and it was almost dead center field, so the troops couldn't get over there.
You should get credit. If you catch it, smash the wall, and hit the ground. I feel like if you hit the ground and have it, this ain't football. The ground didn't force the fumble. Like, call him out.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Nope, they didn't. Last thing before we take a quick break here, we'll have our buddy Mike Freed here in a little bit. Softball, my God, Gators softball got it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it shoved, if you will.
That was really bad.
Oh, yeah, they scuffled. They just couldn't hit the ball. They ran into some good pitching, couldn't hit the ball. Just it wasn't their year, I guess. Was
that Saturday morning?
That was, I think so. God, it runs together.
Because I started to I had to do something, and then I got home. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this. And then I went on my phone, and it was 7-0. And I was like, you know what? I'll be able to watch something else.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Gator baseball, Gator softball finished.
But overall, for the university, pretty successful athletic season.
Yeah, not a bad run.
Obviously, you have a national championship in there, but, softball.
Football finished better than you thought,
Well, yeah, if you look at the overall record, it's not great. But if you look at how they finished, it's significantly better than where they started.
Speaking of softball, we do have one final from earlier today. Texas knocked out Tennessee. So we have Texas, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma are your three standing, with Texas Tech the winner, right? The winner's bracket right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess tonight, right? Tonight you'll have Texas will be back on the field taking on Oklahoma, right? Who's got a loss. Tennessee beat them. And that winner will then play Texas Tech, I guess, in the 2 out of 3. Yeah, I think that's how that's going to work. Nobody's beat Tech yet, and the pitcher.
No, you got Oklahoma, Texas Tech tonight.
Oklahoma, Texas Tech tonight. Do they both have a loss? Are you showing that?
I'm just seeing overall record.
Okay. But
they played 7 on ESPN.
3 teams left.
Confirmed.
3 teams left, and you said Texas, Oklahoma tonight, or
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, Oklahoma tonight.
Yes.
That'll be. We'll look it up. Definitely 3 teams left, though.
Those are the 3, for sure.
And the last thing before we get out here, this segment, they still have a little bit of room to wiggle and rebound, but not the greatest baseball postseason for the SEC. I mean, you had 1 Vanderbilt,
gone,
greatly upset. 2 Texas,
gone,
greatly upset. Georgia was in the top 10 most of the year.
Gone.
Yeah, Georgia got knocked out. Now 2 great games. Whew.
But
they still didn't win. They still didn't win it. Florida,
gone.
Mississippi State kind of were over their skis a little bit, but Mississippi State, I don't think they acquitted themselves well. Florida did not acquit themselves well.
Mississippi State looked like they should be there.
Yeah, and then I understand a little bit of the beef that O'Sullivan had for Florida. Did you hear about that little controversy?
With the game time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was upset about that.
And I'm glad I noticed it. That game yesterday that Florida got bombed and eliminated, that was scheduled for noon.
Mm-hmm.
That was a noon game. The day before, all the publicity was saying, okay, and the loser will play the next day at noon, next day at noon, next day at noon. Everybody was told that. It was broadcast everywhere. And best I can tell, the TV boys manipulated that. They wanted to get yesterday, they wanted squeeze play 12-1. And then so they moved the Florida ECU game 2 between those two. They moved it to 1. It was more advantageous to Florida for it to be 1 hour earlier because ECU didn't get off the field. ECU didn't get by the hotel until all of 1:30.
Sure.
So, but it was an hour.
O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That did, and the way your team played, it
could have been 6 hours. The way your team played.
Yeah, and he showed his ass, and it was probably the whole year bubbled over. Wouldn't you think? But that was his beef, right?
Yes.
And so he's chewing into pregame yesterday. O'Sullivan's chewing into one of the administrators of the tournament in Conway, and then the Coastal Carolina head coach. Florida never even played them. But, I mean, that's his ballpark, and that's his logistics people. He basically said, settle down, Beavis. You know? Yeah.
As he should.
And I stood for him. Yeah, I stand for him. It was wrong. Heat of the moment, probably. Okay, we'll get back to some baseball. We'll track this. Oklahoma now losing to North Carolina. North Carolina 8-2 now. So Carolina's a team I think is a threat to win it. As we break, though, only Arkansas and Auburn have made it to Super Regionals from the SEC, but they do have 4 teams today. They could get up to 4 in. LSU, Oklahoma, well, they'd have to come back. Tennessee and Ole Miss still have life. So the SEC really needs to get 2 more in tonight.
You would think LSU could get it done.
You would think LSU.
You would think.
Tennessee, Wake Forest, gosh darn.
Wake Forest is good.
Yeah, they are good. And Ole Miss at home should get by Murray State, but
you would think.
It is baseball. I would think, though, in terms of SEC winning it all, I think they got 3 chances. LSU, Tennessee, and both would have to win tonight, and then Arkansas. I'll put all my eggs in Arkansas's basket. They're probably the best team.
Good.
They're the best team I've seen. You got to see the 2 Hawaiian brothers. You got to see those guys swing the bat. Aloy, A-L-O-Y, really swing it. And Arkansas, the best team in the country by 50,000 miles to have never won in Omaha. I mean, they've run some teams out there. Oh, how has Dave Van Horn and, God, I can't remember the guy before him, was there forever. How they haven't won one is mind-boggling. All right, let's take a break, come back. We'll lighten it up a little bit with our buddy, our resident comedian, Mike Freed. We take it out of bounds on the other side.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Back we are here on a Monday, Action Sports Jax. This is the Young and Norvelle show. We'll have Brent Beard about 5:30. But let's welcome, I do believe we've got we're waiting on our resident comedian, Mike Freed. I always like your guests when they let you know about, in case about 90 seconds before, hey, I'm going to do it on the phone, okay? Yeah, that's good. Just send it to you, Mike, if you're listening. If you're watching, we'll take it out of bounds with Mike. I know he's got some crazy, wacky, zany things he wants to get to, and we want him to get to. Got some Major League Baseball news and notes to get to as well. Told you guys the NBA Finals, of course, you've heard, are set. We went over those a little bit. We've got several days to go back over those. Okay, he says it's not working here. Let's see here. All right, okay. I gave him the password, Casey. I gave him the link, and
you've done everything you can.
Done everything I can. I'll put a try.
You might just need to establish that he is the one at fault here. He may try to blame you.
Try it again,
but maybe on him.
And use the link. Use the link. Then password.
There it is.
Maybe he's linking in the password because I set them kind of close together. So that, man, he better be good, right? Today, if he makes it on. He
better have put somebody in jail.
He better have. And while we're waiting, let me tell you guys, it is basketball season. It is work on your game, get better, make your high school team, make your junior high school team, or take it to the next level. Work on your game now, not during the season, with the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Go to their website. This is Coach Martin's academy, probably the most accomplished, or as accomplished a high school coach as we have in our area, the head coach at Providence. He's turned out pushing 50 college basketball players, camps for every skill level, every grade. They go all the way through August 4th. They're 4 and 5 day, basically week camps, so it doesn't matter. They got started May 27th, but they go all summer long through August 4th. Work on your game, learn shooting, passing, obviously the fundamentals of the game, the thought process of the game. Basketball, boy, if you can think basketball, a lot of times you can beat as talented or more talented player if you think the game. They'll teach you understanding the game, footwork, teamwork as well. You'll become a better basketball player, and you'll have spent quality time this summer. Don't just waste your time. Get your basketball player into a camp. JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com gives you all the information. Again, JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. All right. We'll check in with Mike Freed if And when he pops up,
look up.
Got him? Oh, there he is. There he is. How you doing? And we don't hear you. We see you. He'll turn that mic on. He'll turn that mic on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if is it me, Casey, maybe? Right now.
It's not.
Mike, no?
It's not you.
Mike 1. Mike 2. Mike Freed 1, not as in M-I-C. See ya. Don't hear you. Not me, huh? Oh, boy. You better be good, Mike, when we get you on.
It better be just outrageous.
And to think, there's the chair right there, and there are the headphones. He was coming in,
Yeah.
Casey, he was coming in, and then, big stars like this, pulling a Sinatra on us is what he's doing.
Yeah, it's
big wheel. Big wheel. I actually had those numbers wrong. The second time these two teams met, they're in the finals. The numbers weren't off much. Combined second and third quarter, Oklahoma City outscored Indiana 73 points. They scored 73 in those two quarters. Ouch. And they beat them the first time without Holmgren. This should be about a 5-1 series. And the one good thing about 5-1 series, it won't go 7. Man, I've complained about this for years. It doesn't bother me or matter to me, Casey. Do you realize the NBA playoffs literally are 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just that sounds fun to say it. It's a little over a month. No, it's 2 months. They start mid to late April.
It's a lot.
And they go through mid to late June. No sport, no playoffs should be 2 months.
Them in hockey. Hockey's very long as well.
Is it like that?
I know you're not watching.
Are they in the finals now, the hockey?
They are, yeah.
And is it the same finals as last year? I heard somebody
say. It is.
Edmonton
and Florida.
Going to be the same result?
Hopefully not.
No. Let's see what else I want to get to before we get gosh darn, he had a bidet story too. You hate to miss a bidet. You know a bidet, right?
The day.
Bidet.
Oh, but yes.
Butt day.
I'm familiar.
And I wanted to lead off and introduce him as a guy carrying around a bidet story he wants to share with everybody here. What are we, about an hour from dinner time?
That's just... Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. What could he be doing? The guy, he claims to be an attorney.
Yeah.
Right.
No comment.
Let me guess. But yeah, I'm an attorney. Well, look, I got the business card.
Basically, you can get anything printed on a piece of paper these days.
Hey, have you ever known business card guys? I mean, they have more jobs, have had more jobs, and they've probably handed you 30 business cards since you've known them in 30 years.
Right.
You know that guy?
I mean, I'm familiar with the concept. I've never actually been handed a business card.
I've known a few of those guys. Yeah, man. Every time you see him and you see this guy, this
business cards are kind of out though.
Yeah.
Do you have a business card still?
I do, and don't use it a lot. You know what I use it mostly for? Taking notes. If I need something to write down.
That makes sense.
The back of the card. I will say this. Basically, having been in sales, I mean, this is even sales, obviously. You enjoyed getting, in the old day, you'd get a prospective client's business card,
mm-hmm.
and you'd save them, right? You'd have a Rolodex kind of thing. And what I would do, I'd get the card and maybe have the meeting, get the card, and pertinent information right on the back, right? You'd write the pertinent information on the back.
Send that link that I just sent you.
Okay.
You gave him, in a weird, I can't really explain to the viewer what's happening here, but basically what you did, now granted, this is still Mike's fault, but what you did was you somehow sent him a link that gave him more power than I currently have. And there were multiple times when Mike tried to shut down the whole show a few moments ago. So that link will give him back the normal person power, and I can stay in command and make his microphone and camera do things that he doesn't know I can.
Let me see if I can copy it and get it over there. And of course, being in this studio with all the interference, I'm kind of moving slow here. All right, and he should.
The interference, you mean the building?
Yeah,
or the lights.
Hold on. Are you trying to make me talk? And
okay. I'm not. I'm just trying to.
Okay, you sent me one, right?
I did.
Okay,
I did indeed.
Now let's send this one to Mike, and he should. He should know the password. I don't want to say the password.
The password doesn't matter. I mean, the password doesn't do anything without the link.
Okay, but I don't know. Anywho.
You don't want to tell everybody our password is...
No. Super
Coffee Shop 11?
Yeah, exactly. Seinfeld. Anyway, you'd write pertinent information on the back of the business card.
Sure.
Now, that was great for years. You'd want to remember stuff. Daughter's name's Sophie, likes to fish.
Oh, of the person, not your own daughter.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they'd hand you the business card. Now, you know what fouled that up 15 years ago? Not just that business cards have started to go out.
Yeah, gone.
But the glossy business card used to piss us off.
Can't write on it.
It's hard to write on it.
Need a Sharpie.
Or, and it would smear.
Yeah, it would smear, for sure.
Oh, I hated when the glossy double-sided business card came out. A lot of times the business card, you have a nice little meeting, and you'd want to get their cell phone. Maybe they don't put their cell phone on there. You'd have a good meeting. Let me get your cell phone. Or they'd give you well, you can't write. You'd want to write it on the business card.
Nothing. Can't do it.
Oh, hated it. Hated it.
Maybe that's why the business card went out.
Could be.
That or phones.
Stupid phones.
I mean, most people, outside of you, most people do well with the phone.
Yeah.
But it just looked like you were struggling with the phone a little bit.
Yeah.
The old copy and paste.
I think I sent the same damn...
Oh, Terry.
Hold on. No, let me see. You just sent me one.
I did. I just sent you
one.
And
it... All right, so let me hit that.
It's going to happen.
Pull down the 7.
The most anticipated segment in the history of sports streaming, sports radio, whatever you want to call it, will be Mike talking about the bidet just moments before people.
And everyone, hey, sitting on the edge of their bidet is what they're doing, waiting to hear this story.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the story. I would ask you questions about it.
I don't really even know it.
Listen, all right, I'll just
hold on.
Generally toss you one here. Have you ever used such a device?
No.
Me neither.
No.
It's a little intimidating. My friend has one, and
really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Is he French?
No. He moved into this house that his fiance's parents owned, and they moved, and then they bought the house from him. So, they didn't move out all their stuff because, their family. And I went over there to visit him, and his guest bathroom randomly has a bidet, and I was like, hey, I'm not doing that under any circumstances because I don't know what that thing's capable of.
Yes.
And so I'm going to pass, but apparently it's a big hit in their household. So
you better watch it. That sounds like you're getting set up, man. They got that thing. They set that dial to fire hose.
Yeah.
Straight.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I went in there the first time and I walked to where the toilet was and I was like, no. Yeah. And I walked out of the bathroom. I was like, what is that? Yeah. I was like, I got to figure out what's going on in here before I can even.
And you were not in Paris, France.
Claremont, Florida.
Okay, Claremont. Oh, fancy pants over there.
Apparently, only person in Claremont, I'm pretty sure, with a bidet. So,
hey, why don't we try this?
Oh, this will be good.
How about this? I'm going to hand you his phone number.
That could work.
Here I come. You talk.
Okay. Here. Yeah, no, that's an idea for sure. Listen, whatever it takes to get, riveting content on the stream, which we're going to do. We are determined to make happen here at the Young and Norvelle show.
We are determined to bring you a bidet here on a Monday.
This, here's the thing.
That's his number, I think. Right?
Yeah, no, I got that part.
Pretty cool number. We better not give it out. It's a pretty cool number.
What part of it makes it cool to you? All the numbers that are the same?
The last 4 kind of was cool. I think. I just glanced at it.
Last 4 is interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Can I get my phone back now?
You could. I mean, you'd have to get up.
Okay, hold on. Coming over.
Okay.
Count to 10.
I'm not going to count to 10, but it's a track meet going in the Action Sports. Yeah, no, the track meet was at UNF. The Eastern, I believe, Regionals is what it was. UNF world-class track. I'm not a runner, but
the big boys were there.
There's a lot of
Florida, Tennessee.
Yeah, right in this region for sure. It's a regional, if you will.
Yeah, I've went over there before and watched it. It's damn good.
It's a good track, but you won't find me running on it.
No. And will they now go, that outdoor final? It's like the final college event of the year in Oregon. Have you ever watched it? The NCAA final outdoor track and field?
I have
not. Oh, I'm being dead. It's fascinating to watch. The finals of all the events in track and field outdoor, and it's always in Oregon. They host it every year. It's like, gosh, what's the deal with the O's? Omaha gets to host every year baseball. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma City, right?
True.
Oregon. What's the deal with the O's? What about Orlando?
Orlando sucks, though.
My old Kentucky home. Oh, I guess
that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That is a different thing.
Do you really even care if we have Mike on now?
Yes, only because it has to work.
Gosh, darn. There's a lot of work for this guy. Is he worth it? God, this better be a good, really good. And why do I have friends that should know better? People messaging me. Okay, wait a minute. He said, whoa, I take this back. Can I take back just about to cuss one of my other friends?
Yeah, you haven't said it yet.
Because his message is grab a drink after the show. Well, hell yeah! Yes!
Gonna need it after this.
Hey, Aaron, sorry about that. I hope you weren't watching a minute ago. Guess I'm buying the first round, right?
Yeah.
Me and my stupid big mouth. Oh, let me guess. Mike's probably on a Zoom attorney. He better be throwing somebody in jail.
That's the only acceptable response.
Holy cow. Let me go back and see what the score is in baseball.
That's a good idea.
Get something. Let's hit. Did you know that F5 is your refresh? Pretty cool. Do you know that?
I believe it or not, I actually did not, but I'll try it right now.
On your computer, F5. Don't. You're gonna.
It did. It worked.
How about me knowing that? Okay, still.
That is actually the most surprising thing of the day.
How about that?
That is the most surprising thing that's happened in a very long time.
I can't lie. I just learned that.
I had no clue. I
F5.
Never. That whole row of the keyboard, I paid no attention to.
Yeah. I looked up one time. I can't remember why. There is a rhyme and a reason why the letters are in the locations they're at. It's just on a keyboard.
I mean, I kind of assumed.
There is, yeah. I can't remember. It's like they're next to. I don't know. I got to look it up again. But I went, God, that makes a lot of sense. Most things are done with a reasonable background.
Yeah. Yeah, most things are. Listen. I don't want to oversell. I don't want to undersell what has happened these last 10 minutes.
Okay.
But against all odds, the keyboards, the bidet, everything that has and has not worked, I think we got it.
Mike, you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Holy cow.
Hey, buddy. Well, it's good to have you, Mike. We're plumb out of time. We'll catch up with you next Monday for the next edition of Out of Bounds. All right, Mike. We think of you.
Paid?
When we think, yeah, you do. We think of you. We think of bidet. You got a bidet story. Everybody's waiting. We want bidet. We want bidet.
Yeah,
bidet.
Yeah, sorry about that. So Dodgers rookie Roki Sasaki, you know him? I pronounced his name right.
Yeah, their new one of their new hotshot pitchers.
Yeah, so he's Japanese, and apparently one of the ways the Dodgers were able to land him was by promising him that he would get Japanese-style heated toilet seats and bidets, automatic toilet seats as well, automatically flushable toilet seats in the clubhouse.
In the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Now, is it does he have a combination door? Is it only for him or?
No, they were doing major clubhouse renovations, and they happened to be doing it when he came through for his, meeting, interview, what have you. And he said, "Well, what are y'all doing in the plumbing department?" And they're like, "Well, what are you interested in?" And he told them what he expects and sees as standard, because he not only wants his rear end to be clean, but he wants his teammates to have similar opportunities. And
I'll tell you, man, with all the, no pun intended, with all the hijinks that go on around the long baseball season, there's going to be some hijinks, right? Don't you think? In and around. Yeah, I can see.
Somebody drinking out of a bidet.
Yeah, colored water.
Could be.
Set it to like I told Mike. Like I told Casey. Set it to fire hose level.
You could. I mean, it's already a firehouse level. The key is, and I know this because I have two of them in my house. You have to be sure that you're sitting on it and sitting in the proper position, or you will have a wet room.
Wow. And I mean, this is just terrible. Casey got us on this. He said, make sure we get the bidet story in.
Yep.
I was trying to fight it this morning. I said, well, he wants to talk about. He said, no, Terry, do it. It's classy. Make sure
what the people
classy. Want. I've never used a bidet. I know. Bidet party at Mike's house.
Yeah.
I know the general concept,
Yes.
but is the final part? Do you still have paper in the toilet room, the bathroom, if you know what I mean?
It's a good question.
Yeah, you do.
Still,
And by
you
the
finish
way,
it off with paper, I hope.
always looking for opportunity for
Casey
sponsorship.
said that's a
So
good question, by the way.
if you interested in sponsoring the Young and Norvelle show and you make a bidet, please call. Yeah,
Yeah.
you finish with paper, but you finish with paper to dry. But you also, generally, depending on the nature of what you've been doing there and what you've been eating, perhaps,
So,
you're still going to need a little compliment there.
so if you get one of those bidets installed in your house, you can finally, not just your wife, but you can finally get some use out of her 8 million watt hairdryer too, if it's next to the bidet, right? The hell with paper. The hell with paper.
Mine's not at this level. But you can actually get a bidet that has a built-in dryer.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can get a bidet with a built. It's sanitary. The Japanese have it right in this regard. It's definitely the way to go. It obviously peaked in purchases during the pandemic when we experienced toilet paper shortages, and it's a nice way to go. It really is, and I give him. I'm surprised other teams were not willing to step up in this regard.
What? So the French started the bidet, is that right?
That's the first place I've seen them,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure. And when you go to Europe, they actually have a separate toilet next to your toilet, which is the bidet. Whereas here, we just double source the.
Do they have
bidet.
do they have any operation instructions when you go in the first time? I mean, be hitting
Probably,
buttons.
but who reads instructions?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I went to a friend's house the first time. I was like, "What is this?" And I was messing around with the buttons, and you could use some instructions. That's for sure.
where do we go from here? What's the next out of bounds subject?
I don't know. You want to? I mean, I got some little things. I got some big things. Of course, I've been out for a week. So
What did you do wrong? Why couldn't we get you on a minute ago? What did you do wrong? You did something wrong.
I'm sure it was user error. I mean,
Yeah.
I do think at the end of the day, it's lowercase based. Excuse me, I was about to say your password.
It is
It's
lowercase. Yep.
Yeah, but you sent me uppercase.
Me or Terry? No, that's a Terry. That's a Terry.
Shut
problem.
up.
Okay.
Hey,
Whoever
Freed.
sent it.
Hey, did you throw anybody in jail today?
It's never too late, Mr.
Yeah, okay.
Norvelle.
Okay. What'd you have about something about Brock Purdy? What'd you have about Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I think it's just a sweet story about him. You get a lot of money. You get $265 million, $181 million guaranteed. What do you think his one luxury purchase was? His one big thing? You think it was a Ferrari or Maserati? You think it was a new house? Maybe a house for his mom? Maybe some gaudy piece of jewelry?
House for the mom.
It was none of those things. It was a small bass boat, which I'm sure is not insignificant. But how much do you think? How much of his $265 million do you think he spent on the bass boat?
I don't know. What do you think a bass boat costs? I don't know.
I mean, you could spend a little bit of money,
Yeah.
maybe 200,000 or something. Right?
Are you a fisherman, Freed? Are you a fisherman?
I will go with. I have friends that do things, and I'll go with them. But I'm not. You wouldn't want me leading.
No.
You wouldn't want me leading that.
I've never been the fisherman hunter guy.
Really?
No.
Really? You've been around people. You've had
no. Don't want to go
you get
shooting.
seasick?
Couple things. I love the beach and I love a pool. I don't like rivers and lakes. The water's stagnant. It looks kind of. There's no movement. It's kind of brown. But I don't like. I feel they're dirty. I don't like that. Is the main reason. I have no interest. I'm not going to touch a worm. I don't want to touch a fish. If you want to know the truth about it, flopping around.
Am I right that in the Mayport area where you live, that you can actually fish in your pool?
Correct. Your pool is the fishing pond. We do our clothes there. We do our bidet there. We do everything there. It's our private bidet.
Speaking of doing your clothes, I saw that you were drying your clothes the old-fashioned way.
You saw that? Yeah. I was proud of that. You saw that. What? Hey, beautiful day. That was and I don't know. Have you ever had a callus on you? Have you ever done any hard work at all?
I garden a little bit.
Yeah. But the other, what was it? 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you're like me, but if you wash your own car, if you wash your dog, if you clean up your work towel, I'll have 6 or 8 towels kind of. I don't wash those with my clothes. Right. You know what I mean? Your work towels, your around the house towels, your dog towels. About 2 weeks ago, I had about 9 or 10 of them and did a load of laundry. And why the hell would I throw all those just work towels and use an hour and 10 minutes of electricity on a beautiful, it was 8 in the morning. I'll go out and I know my neighbors love it. I'll hang those suckers on the fence. Yeah.
I think that's okay. I was concerned that you were putting your underwear out there.
No. That's work. It was work towels and all. And, 4 hours, 6 hours later, I'll go, oh, yeah, let me get, and they're all dried.
I had to go.
Casey, that's a good idea, isn't it, Casey? Why waste an hour of electricity on your dog bath towel and your car wash towel, right, Case?
Genius. You're onto something.
Brilliant. We got a big sun up there, big sun up there.
When I grew up, we didn't have a dryer. We had a clothesline. That's all we
Absolutely.
had.
Oh, I would, I'd have a note when I'd get home from school as a little kid, and my mom would say, Terry, make sure you get the clothes off the line, and I'd invariably forget the whole family's wet.
You had to get that wet, or you drop it on the ground and get all dirty.
Yeah, get dirty. I'd forget sometime, and the rest of the older brothers and mom and grandma weren't happy.
Have you and your therapist worked that through?
We have. I'm like you. We didn't have a dryer for. Oh my God, I was probably high school before we had a dryer.
We didn't have a dryer.
We didn't have a microwave for years. We didn't have a color TV for years. We finally
microwaves existed.
Yeah, I remember some kids started getting those, and I'm like, "What is that?" Yeah. And by the way, don't put your head in there, like they told me that one time.
Right.
Yeah, that hurt.
That will happen. It'll make you afraid of the muddy water. I wanted to talk to you about the weenie race. You know what the weenie race is?
Yeah, we saw that a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Oscar Mayer got. Yeah, no, we didn't talk much about it. Talk about it.
They had 6 Wienermobiles, which, of course, if you're not familiar with the Wienermobiles, those are the Oscar Mayer ambassadors that drive all around the country, do about 20,000 miles a year each. And, they're promoting the general purchase of the healthy things we call hot dogs. And before the Indianapolis 500, I'm assuming they're a major sponsor because they had 6, all 6 of the Wienermobiles. They have co-pilots. They got 2 people driving them, some women, some men. And they do 5 miles, which I'm guessing is about 2 laps. And the winner this year was the Slaw Dog. It won by about a half a bun. So there you go.
I like it. Being serious for a minute, I've probably seen one of those Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles around Jacksonville. I've probably seen it 10 times in my life over the years. Have you ever seen it?
You live in the right neighborhood to be promoting that. I would think.
Casey, have you ever seen the Wienermobile driving around?
I have never once seen
I bet you I've seen that thing, that Oscar Mayer here in I bet I've seen it easily 5 times over the years. Just riding down the road. Yeah.
Casey's not seen the Wienermobile, but the most amazing thing I heard when I was stumbling to get on is no one has ever handed you a business card in your entire life.
I'm glad you caught on to that. No, never once in my life. I am 27.
How about that?
Wow. That's amazing.
The business card's gone out
never
of business. The business card has gone out of business. Holy cow.
I am so old. Like I was literally at a bar recently, and I never know whether I'm hitting on somebody or just talking to them. I always give plausible deniability, but I thought it was going well. I went to hand this young lady, and she was a little bit young, which will be a good transition into our next story, a business card, and she laughed, and she's like, "What
the hell's this?
What is this?"
She thought you were just some cheese ball that printed your own. She didn't know that was an industry for 1,000 years.
He's like, people don't use cards. You can just give me your number. I was like, all right.
Did she give you a bogus number?
No. With the young ladies, you give them your number, and they call you if they so choose.
Casey, Mike went. He got home that night. Let me call her. Yeah, that's going good. The current time is 4:57.
You gotta hate that.
Eastern. I told
Once
Casey.
Again, Terry, you've dated yourself because there is no number that you don't call a number. For
remember
time
that?
Anymore.
358-1212. I'll never forget that number. Casey, you would call that. You'd be bored out of your mind. You remember that, Mike Freed? Be bored out of your mind, and you call, and it would tell you what time it was.
That's pretty wild.
358-1212.
We've come a long way as a society and a country.
Hey, Freed, you're as old as me, right? You're old fart, right?
I'm a couple years younger.
Yeah, but you're in the same.
57 on Saturday.
Wow, wow. Oof. How about this? Occasionally, somebody's brother or dad, and this when I was a little, 10, 12, how you got bored in your neighborhood. We didn't have all the gadgets. You had to somebody, uncle, brother, would have a CB. Breaker 19 CB.
Oh, CB, yeah.
CB, Breaker 19, Breaker 1. And we, as kids, we'd be bored. Somebody'd get the keys. We'd get in somebody's truck and start. And real truckers, that's their profession, and they need to know. Hey, there wasn't GPS and Waze and all that. They're like, hey, if you're heading down 95 on exit 74, there's logging traffic. We'd get on there and start just screwing around, and some of those truckers would get so mad. We'd get on there, and what's your 1020? And sometime they would, at the beginning, they'd be, well, we're about 17 miles outside of Brunswick, and and then it would devolve into, well, your wife's fat, or something,
And they still have use, I guess, because, the one thing you can't do with the cell phone is be driving down the road and call the car next to you because you don't know their number.
Yeah.
But with the CB, you can see a trucker that seems fun or interesting or has the Yosemite Sams or whatever.
Nice. Aren't those great? Aren't those? And then the curvaceous woman, kind of the sitting on her side, kind of
silhouette.
Yeah, the silhouette. Yeah, but who was the guy you just mentioned? He was great.
Yosemite Sam?
Yeah, that guy was great, right?
Yeah, he's not real though.
That guy'll kick you right in the knee and live to tell about it, man, and doesn't care.
It's true. It's true. I can see you kind of going as him for Halloween, maybe.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, where was I at? Oh, God, I gotta say this, man. So I was working at the arena. I won't say what show, and this wasn't part of the act. It was part of the setup crew.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, if like 20 feet down the hallway came this little midget dude, right? And we've got in the I thought about it. In the arena, we have the basketball. When basketball comes through, hell, the Gators played there November of last year. So there's and all my crew workers were with me. I said, dude, I'm gonna call that little midget. We got to set up that basket. I'm gonna post his ass up. I was way taller than him, Mike. Way taller than that guy.
He was, but this is interesting. I want to explore this further. So he was,
and I couldn't find Casey. I couldn't find a basketball. I needed a basketball.
That's probably a good thing.
I was going to post him up, and there was nothing he could do about it. I was going to go for 32. 32.
He was working there, right?
He was part of the stage crew, stagehands or something. I don't care. I was going to abuse him.
Did he have a midget-specific job? Like maybe he was supposed to be the guy under the stage who sets up the little...
I don't know. He was a quick little midget. He was going away from me, and he just went off into the... I just saw him disappear.
I'd be interested. Maybe he was the
midget horizon. No, he was there. We all saw him. He was like 30 yards away, and he kind of... a midget walks in front of you, not every day. Yeah, you kind of...
There is that. So speaking of dating young women, and I don't know how much
he didn't like my midget story, Casey. He didn't really like that one.
I'm working on my segues.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking of midgets, and speaking of young people, and dating young people, have you guys talked a lot about Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson?
Yeah, but we're all about sick of that story. This better be good.
No, I got nothing new to add to it. I just wanted to make sure there's obviously rumors that they're engaged, but I guess they were somewhere recently at a North Carolina event, and her father was there, and her father is age 49. The age difference between the two of them also 49. I'm all about the fact that men are immature and that we should probably not date women our own age, but that's just a little much. In addition to the fact that she appears to be a real head case. And I guess the part that's fascinating about it to me is that he's not just any guy. He's a guy who's like totally controlled his persona and his personality and limited what he says to the media and, just done things his own way. And, as far as I know, kept his private life pretty private. And now he's just losing his,
Hey, Casey, have you met Serious Mike Freed? We've got Serious Mike Freed on here.
It's a character change mid-segment.
It's out of bounds. It's a non-sports story, or it's a fascinating aspect of a sports story. So I guess you don't want to talk about Stephon Diggs then, do you?
But she loves him.
You think?
If he was a sanitation worker or a window washer, it's love, man.
That's probably right. That's probably right. You never know.
Love will find a way. Love will
the divorce
find
proceeding.
a way. Yes. Yes. Yeah, what is this deal with Stefan? We saw that story, didn't get into it. He was on a boat, and there were some young women. There's always young women in your stories, Mike. If you notice this.
There are always young women. Yeah, I know. That's that's my subscriptions. All my subscriptions are.
Exactly.
So he, he's on a boat. He was with Cardi B, although he was flirting with some other women. And he did not hand out business cards. Instead, he handed out a pink powdery substance, which, interestingly enough, I don't just read headlines here. I do research for the Young Norvelle
We can
show.
tell. Yeah, we can
And
tell.
and when I researched, like, what is the pink substance that Stefan Diggs had, nobody knows. And I don't see how he's going to get suspended for it unless he tests positive for something. Because as far as I know, there is no pink drug. So I think it's just like Pop Rocks or something like that. The guy
Remember those? Remember those?
Yeah.
Those were.
But that's the deal. He was displaying on a video that then got posted, went viral on the internet. He was supposed to be, or at least had the opportunity to be at off-season workouts. Instead, he was out on a boat with some young women, and he was making them call him daddy and giving them a pink powdery substance. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you followed it. I haven't followed it much, but will Diddy get off? Bad choice of words, but
yeah, it really is. Will he slip through the cracks? Is that what you're saying?
What's going on in your thoughts? Have you? I don't really follow that paparazzi kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't look very good. I will say this.
Will he do time? Will he do time?
One thing I would agree on, I think we can all agree on, is that we need to do a better job with the portrait artists in the courtroom. If you Google the portraits of Diddy in the courtroom, or look back at the ones of like Trump from this past summer, I mean, they're horrible. They look like melted, disfigured cartoons, and that's what we're getting to him.
This is a good point.
But yeah, he does not appear to be doing very well for himself. He doesn't have not a lot of witnesses supporting him.
Last week was the National Spelling Bee. Comes up, end of the school year always. The National Spelling Bee got me thinking. What would be some of the athlete names, maybe, or even athletic terms and words that would make up a good? Okay. The spelling bee, sports spelling bee. Krzyzewski, Duke basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski, or Giannis. I can't even say his last name. You could do a good sports spelling bee, couldn't you? With words and places.
Could you use it in a sentence? You'd have to do that, right? Could
yeah.
you use it in a sentence, please?
Yeah.
What's its derivation?
Yeah.
Yeah, those would be tough. You could also go back to like a couple weeks ago. We were talking about RBIs, so you could ask them to spell RBIs, and they would have trouble with.
Speaking of, I got into a good little. I shouldn't have done this because I knew where it was going to go, but it's a little sports. What do you call it? Kind of social media argument, kind of. And RBIs is one that's an easy one. You could say actually it should be runs batted in, not RBI. Yeah. And this blows people away, but it's so true. Somebody posted, it was a football thing. I can't remember the player. Who was it? It was football. It was last week. And I said, I shouldn't do this, but I was just feeling, sometimes you just want to fight, I'm from the way, I just want to fight. So the guy says, yeah, so-and-so, the run was incredible. He broke like 6 tackles, and everybody, it was the most, it was great. All this, he broke the, and I chimed in on the social, sent a message. I said, well, technically, in the history of football, no one has ever broken a tackle. It's impossible to break a tackle. And I'll let you think it through. And it literally, in the history of football, no one ever, now, you can break a tackle attempt,
yes,
but if you are tackled, you're tackled. You can't break a tackle.
You can be wrapped up and not brought to the ground.
Right? He broke 9. No, he didn't. He broke 9 tackle attempts. But if it was a tackle, you were tackled, and it goes down in the record. The game log is Mike Freed got tackled there. Right? Is that true? And they go, and half people go, you're absolutely right, and half people are stupid. So no, it's not. You can't break a tackle technically.
I agree with both of them. You're right, and that's stupid.
Nice, Mike. Thank you. Solidarity. Yes. Solidarity. We don't have time to get into it, Mike, but you were out working a stupid job or whatever you were doing. Casey and I had, have you heard about the enhanced games? We may as well take this long. What the hell? If you
what
got
is
time.
that?
The enhanced
actually,
game.
What is it? I've heard.
And it's legitimately looks like it's going to happen coming up in Las Vegas, in 2026. There's some serious money, and the people that have organized it have basically said, all these illegal substances, where you're blocking superhumanity, right? So they're going to offer. They're offering Olympic-style games.
Yeah.
Enhanced games. You're encouraged, and you should use any substance you want. Some of the money, they've got billionaires and a bunch of money. I'm being serious here. One of the known backers, there's a bunch of billionaires. One of the known backers is Peter, I don't know if I ever pronounced his name right, the guy that founded PayPal. Peter Thiel, or a legit guy, founded PayPal. He's one of the billionaires in this. So they're going to put on the event, and if you win gold, it's $250,000.
Okay.
Silver and bronze. Now, if you break a world record, $1 million bonus.
Wow, that's fascinating. But it gets to like which substances will actually enhance your performance.
They don't. They could care less. They're like, why should we not see what the human body, if an adult decides to go that way, why should we not see what the upper echelon of a enhanced, right? And now
they're illegal.
Well, they want to be legal, but not in the athletic world legal. But you know. Now they understand, just to participate, to make it that far, you're going to make some money, because they understand you are now taking yourself out of legitimate sporting events because you've tested for things, right?
Plus, you got to pay your dealer.
Yeah, you got to pay your dealer. But it's interesting, and they've got money behind it. The money's behind it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's interesting. But let me ask you this:
if you break Usain, if you run faster than Usain Bolt's ever run, they're going to hand you $1 million.
Right, I'm with you there. But you're Terry Norvelle in your prime athleticism, and these games come out. And what substance do you take to do which event? What do you think is going to take you over the top?
You're more of a drug dealer than I am. I don't know. Right? I mean, you're taking something to. I mean, look at those friggin' pythons you got right there. You're taking something for those.
I think we should take it in a different direction. I think we should have other competitions that are enhanced. For example, you can smoke weed and do a spelling bee, and you just
wait,
give you a
what?
word and
wait,
you just
what?
start laughing.
Say that again. Wait, what? What?
You just start giggling. It's a giggle off.
You got anything else on your paper?
I got nothing. We're done.
What about gigs? Where's Freed at?
Oh, listen,
Free Mike Freed. That's a good slogan for you. Free Mike Freed. Free Mike Freed. Dude, you got to get in trouble so we can say that. Hey, I promise. Casey and I will be there with placards. Free Mike Freed. Free Mike Freed.
If I did criminal defense law, wouldn't you hire the guy named Freed?
Yes. Yes.
But I don't.
Why are you not on a bunch of bus stop seats things?
I don't know that my face really sells, to be honest, Terry.
Better call Saul, man. Better call Freed. Get Freed. Let Freed set you free.
Murray Hill Theater. Go to the Murray Hill website. Murray Hill, lovely Murray Hill, over in Murray Hill, Edgewood area of Riverside on June 7th, which happens to be my birthday. Great show, bringing Amanda Goldstein Marks down from Atlanta, Patrick Carson, and me. So come on out, get your tickets now. It is this Saturday, June 7th, my birthday.
I might have, I've been to that theater 1 million times as a kid. I grew up on the west side, so we'd go over there. Edgewood Theater was right down in Murray Hill. It was weird. They had two theaters like 500 yards apart.
Now just the one.
Yeah, down to one. But Murray Hill had a balcony. I'm not little 12-year-old Terry might have grew up a little bit in that balcony a few times. You never know.
Man.
If you know what I mean.
Look how it's paid off.
Look how successful. And what about little Joni Smith? I told her I had a seat and popcorn, and she never showed up. Little Joni, look what you missed out on.
So it's just you in the balcony, huh?
Yeah, that day it was me and Staying Alive. The movie Staying Alive was on, I think.
Well, Terry Norvelle, this is your life. Casey, bring out Joni Smith. We actually have.
Hey, Joni Smith. How you doing?
Joni Smith is the fakest, but also could be realest name of all.
Wow, Joni,
Did you meet her at a camp in Canada?
Joni didn't exactly push away from the table. It doesn't look like much. Joni, mixing a salad there, Joni. For God's sakes.
You sure know how to woo a lady, Terry.
Yeah, I do. Woo. Very nice. All right, Freed, what else? What are we missing, man? What could we possibly be missing from this? Is this an all-timer? Is this our all-time show?
Time.
Yeah.
Me being on time would be a good thing.
Yeah. Was this an all-timer? Our best?
If you say it was, I
Casey, was this our best?
Sure.
It was certainly one of them, for sure.
Yeah.
It did happen.
Of all the shows that we've done,
this is one.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. It's right there in the middle of it. It really is. All right, Fred, get out of here. Good stuff, my man. And we'll do it again, maybe the 5th of never. How about that? The 5th of never.
That's good, brother. See you. Bye.
All right, we'll chase him with Brent Baird, I do believe, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Let's take a quick break, reset, take more look at baseball. Top of the 7th, North Carolina trying to punch their ticket to the Super Regionals. They lead Oklahoma 8-2. We'll go over regional action and tell you where Florida State stands. Boy, you Seminole fans, you need to tune in to a ball game starting at 6 o'clock. Your location depends on it. Okay, let's come back. We've got about 30 minutes left on a Monday edition. The Young Norvelle Show continues on Action Sports Jack.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Hey, real quick, I want to get back to college baseball. We'll have Brent Beard on at the bottom of the hour. Florida State fans, pay attention tonight, 6 o'clock our time on this coast. You've got Oregon State playing USC in baseball. If Oregon State wins, Florida State will have to travel over 2,000 miles to play the Super Regional in Corvallis. If USC can knock off Oregon State tonight, then FSU will host the Super Regional. Southern Cal will have to travel over 2,000 miles. So a game of note that involves Florida State on the West Coast tonight. Major League Baseball news and notes we want to get to. Boy, the Dodgers roughed up. I know the Yankees won the third game, but man, Casey, the Dodgers roughed up the Yankees. They go Yankees and Mets. The Mets are in town now. But how about that one game? What was it, 18-2 or something?
Yeah, they destroyed them.
Gosh, really did. Did I hear Brent Beard?
No, that was my mic.
Okay, that was your mic. Dodgers go Yankees and then Mets. Braves, 9.5 out, 5.5 out of the wild card. The Braves, by the way, just looking, they got to hold it together just to get to the break, right? Just get to the break without being down double digits at least, I think. Just get to the break and give yourself a chance. Do you realize the Braves still have 10 games before the All-Star game, a total of 10 between the Mets and the Phillies. So they'll have a chance.
They will?
They will have a
chance.
Or
they'll be buried.
Yeah, or they'll be buried. Jack Caglione called up last night. Do we have that video?
Yep.
Yeah, let's play it. It's kind of cool. It's neat when a guy gets the call, and they've got it on film here. Jack Caglione, former great Gator, called up by the Kansas City Royals. He'll play tomorrow. Kansas City will take on St. Louis, so we'll have a day to travel.
Seriously, how do you feel? Good. You feel a little tired because you've been doing a lot of stuff.
Like, not bad.
I mean, you've been doing outfield stuff, and you've been taking your ground balls.
Most have been working me, but it's been good.
So you think you feel like you're at the point where you could help, like them up there? You think you could?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you can get on the charter tomorrow night and go with them to St. Louis.
Holy crap.
So what do you think?
That sounds great.
Just remember, it's still a game. It's baseball.
Yeah.
It's a little higher level, but you know you can play.
Yeah. Shoot, player.
All right, give me a hug.
Oh, yeah.
How good is that?
It's pretty good.
What did you think when I started talking to you?
I mean, I was like, damn, it's probably for hitting my knob against the stair. It's like,
I heard that.
I was like, damn.
I heard that.
But, oh, no way.
Go call your dad.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Let the fam know.
Congrats.
I don't think you're going to the zoo tomorrow. Okay.
That was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Jack Caglione getting word from, obviously, his AAA manager and some of the high-ranking probably people were in town. Never gets old, though, man. Well, I mean, gosh darn, every little leaguer's dream right there.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Little leaguer's dream. And obviously, Jack Caglione knew he was going to make the majors at some point. But it's still, I mean, it'll your first time, right? Your first time special.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the manager's, he says, hey, it's baseball, man. Mm-hmm. Always remember, it's still baseball and a little higher level, but it is still baseball. I thought that was awesome to see. He will get his first start in Major League Baseball at St. Louis, so that's a good team. Then they are at Kansas City. They're at the White Sox. Then they've got the Yankees at home, do the Royals. Then they play the Athletics. So he's got the White Sox and Athletics to get started. That can't hurt, right?
No, that'll help.
That'll help. Just noting this down. Kansas City, they will play in Tampa. So a lot of Gator Nation can get out and see him in Tampa. They will play the Dodgers. So there could be a Caglione Ohtani
Oh, yeah.
You know, Tawny's starting to throw a lot, and then it'll be kind of neat to see them both bat. And Kansas City still has a series with Pittsburgh. So Cags and Skeens might lock horns.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's what I've got, Casey, and you and I have talked about this. Now that he's going up to the bigs, and I hope he'll stay at least a month or so, right? Even if he totally bombs, right?
I mean, if he is the worst to ever play, yes. But, I mean, I don't think they have any intention of sending him back down.
Probably.
You don't make a move like this with an intention of going
down. We kicked this around early this year. Now that he's up, you got to put him in the home run derby, don't you?
We'll see.
Why not? Why?
He's got to hit one first.
Yeah.
He could struggle.
Yeah.
Mike Trout struggled and went down.
Yeah.
It's not an automatic. But now if he hits 7 in this month, I think that's a legitimate conversation.
Yeah. But you know that that theory is going to come up. Hey, man, it's for TV. It's for fans. You got to get Cags up here. You know?
I mean, he's got to prove it, but
yeah.
I think if he can hit a few, that's a conversation to be had.
We talked about Dodgers-Yankees, Dodgers-Mets coming up now. How bad is this series going to be, and what will the attendance be? Do you realize we are I think it's tomorrow. There's only a couple games today, right, in MLB.
There's 8 or 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. How about the next series coming up, Rockies at the Marlins?
Oh, yeah, that starts tonight. It's a good one.
What's the attendance going to be there?
Poor. Very poor.
Oh, my God.
Good for the Marlins. They'll get some wins.
Yeah, they should. They should get some
you would hope.
Get some wins,
but Marlins fan.
I just saw that, man. Rockies, Marlins. I got another. As we're waiting on Brent Beard, I got another. Damn, have you ever known that gambling's hard?
It's not the easiest.
Gosh, Hard Rock. How about this?
Okay.
So I got a Hard Rock bet going. 7-leg parlay, $5.
You got to stop this.
$5, but 7 legs.
Okay.
$5 wins me $153.
Okay.
7 college baseball games.
All right.
2 days ago, I guess it was. Saturday? I guess it was Saturday. So me and my buddy were watching, the Gator game. I didn't have the Gators.
That's a good though.
And so we're watching. I didn't even tell my buddy. I'm tracking. And I did all the 3 o'clock games because I don't like having night games and I go to bed and I'm scared to
turn on. Hard to go to sleep on a parlay.
So I got 7.
All right.
6 of them come in. I'm cruising.
6-0.
Yep. I could feel $153. I turned 5 and 153. Last game was Wright State the day after they heartbreakingly lost to Vandy.
Okay.
You remember, how that played out? Yeah. I got Wright State and ETSU, East Tennessee State. ETSU is getting plus 1.5.
Okay.
So a run and a half.
You thought that was safe.
We are cruising, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lose by 2. I had 1.5. So if they lose by 1,
you're good.
If they win or lose by 1,
you're good.
They were winning the whole game. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
and that was my last... It wasn't like it happened early and the other ones fell.
Yeah.
That was leg number 7 of 7.
That's tough. You ever been to Vegas?
Just flown through it, never...
So you've seen the big buildings from the plane, though? That's how those got built. The last leg of a parlay, not hitting.
What?
Uh-huh.
That's how they got... Oh, the money... God, how do they know? How did they... And it was a great game back. But ETSU had the lead the whole game. I really wasn't... They were going to win. They were winning the game.
Did they give you a cash out on Hard Rock? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I've seen that before, and no, I didn't.
Ooh,
I probably
that's a bummer.
I should have.
You always got to check for the cash out, man.
Yeah, I could have got like 90.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the inning. I mean, if they were, I don't know when they were last winning, but if they were winning in the 7th,
they lose 7-5. If they lost 7-6, or if they won, they lost 7-5, Casey. And listen, I don't know if you know this, Casey. 7 minus 5. That's a difference of 2. I had 1.5.
Yeah, so you lost by half.
2 is bigger than 1.5.
It is. Yeah.
God, Casey. Oh, I cussed you, Casey. I cussed you.
What did I do?
I don't know, but I wasn't taking it.
I hear that.
Up and down, Casey. Oh.
I respect it. You do what you got to do.
Oh.
It's tough.
It was terrible.
But hey, there's another parlay to be made tonight if you play your cards right.
Oh. At least I only lost $5. That's the problem. I'm never going to do $100, I don't think,
No, I mean, you got to be committed because you could lose it.
So the only way you can make on $5 is parlays.
Yeah.
But I have noticed, you can hit a 3-leg parlay.
Sure you can.
3-4, you can get it done. 7, but it's so enticing, though, isn't it? So enticing.
I'm not a big 7-leg. I like to win, so I'm much more gonna do $20 on 3 legs than $5 on 7.
Yeah, and
because I can occasionally win.
Guys I talk to, they're split on that. Now you got to not get intoxicated because all your buddies will come out. Look at this, and they'll show you their phone. It's all green, but they didn't show me the other 800 reds.
Oh, that's real. Nobody's posting their losses.
Yep,
that's real.
Yep, man, that would have been a nice man. Oh, Casey, did I dog cuss you? Man. Whew.
Sorry about that.
I don't know, whatever day that was, Saturday. Or Sunday. I don't know. What's that thing if somebody's talking about your nose itches or your ears are ringing?
Yeah, ears are on fire.
Or your ears were burning.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, you remember that about...
I was driving home from the Armada game, and I was like...
Yeah, about 6:30.
I was like, what's going on with Terry Norvelle? I wonder, why do I feel like he's talking about me? But,
All right. There's Brett.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Yes. How are
doing?
you?
Good, man. We're just talking about Jack Caglione getting called up. That's pretty cool.
It really is. Now, I didn't quite see all of it, Terry, but understand how they called him up was interesting too, right?
Yeah, it's pretty typical. Casey, it's pretty typical, right? You get called into the manager's office, and the manager tried to deke him a little bit. Hey, we just want to talk about, you're doing a lot of stuff. Are you running out of gas? How you feeling? Are we working it too hard? And then he finally says, well, you feel like you could help the big club? He goes, I guess. Well, get on the charter tomorrow. Yeah, it was good. Brad, before we talk old baseball, North Carolina leading Oklahoma 8-2, bottom of 7 in the game going on right now. I read an article. I think you'll concur with this. I read an article today about college football, which we love, in the Athletic, and the crux of it was some beat-up stories in college football this offseason, and 2 of them they had, and I agree with it. The author said, man, let the judge out in California make her decision. We got to quit talking about that. It's talked out. Right. And they also said the SEC needs to quit talking about 9 games. I agree with that. This offseason, those 2 topics have been beat to death, and we're talking about it now.
Well, but we are, but it's pertinent.
Yeah.
Because, there's a deadline.
Frankly,
with all this stuff. The deadline for the 9 games is before the season begins.
Yeah.
On Labor Day weekend, and the other deadline for the 16 is December the 1st. So to your point, obviously people are tired of talking about it, but Terry, they have to make a decision. They not. That's your reality to this.
Totally agree. I know you jump into obviously college regional baseball action. I know you watched as much baseball as I did. Man, I watched a lot of baseball. Man, you had to feel for the Georgia Bulldogs. Obviously, they breezed through their first game. Georgia gets eliminated by losing 2 in a row. Saturday night, Georgia Duke. What a fabulous baseball game. And then almost the same game the next day, Oklahoma State, Georgia. God, that was tough. Georgia gets walked off on their own field after losing 2 just almost classic games.
And Georgia had it won.
Really did.
What was the reality of it? And again, the SEC starts with 13, and now Oklahoma's behind. They're probably not going to make it. But you've got several games tonight, including an LSU 9:00-er.
I know.
There are 2 9:00 games just for Terry Norvelle.
Yeah, Miami and Southern. I have barely even seen Miami baseball in the tournament, and damn, they now play Southern Miss at 9 tonight. God Almighty! Woo!
Look, you talking about something that'd be tough. Would be now. Obviously, that's 8:00 there for the game.
Yeah.
So that'd be a little bit better. But look, you and I texted about this a little bit yesterday. Explain this to me, okay? How in the world? And look, I know everybody in the tournament's good, okay, or they wouldn't be there. But your other reality of that is, if you're in the SEC and you're in the best conference in America, and you get through that gauntlet, and then you show up against some of the teams that they're playing against. And like Florida, you've got what, Terry, 3 errors
Yeah.
on the game.
Yeah.
And you're mentally, obviously, for whatever reason, not in the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair question. How in the world, and you play Division I baseball, how do you do all this stuff, getting ready for the tournament, and turn in a performance like some of these teams did?
And I get Florida's injuries, but that aside, I'm not banging on Florida. I didn't like their effort. I didn't like their game. I didn't like their effort, their game plan, and I get it. They got a lot of guys hurt. That's not what I'm banging on. I'm not banging on that they would go out there and lose. It just looked like they I don't know, ran out of gas. Florida State, have you pondered? I've been telling FSU fan they need to watch the game tonight between Oregon State and USC. There's about a 2,200-mile trip on the line. If Oregon State wins, FSU's got to go 2,200 miles to Corvallis.
Yeah.
If USC upsets them, USC's got to come 2,200 miles to Tallahassee. Florida State, in that ballpark with that left-hander on the mound, it's going to be hard to get that first game if they play in Tallahassee. Arnold's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Agree with that. Absolutely. But Florida State's look good. And look, you told me this the other day, and it bears repeating. North Carolina's look really good.
They're playing well. They are playing well.
Is North Carolina the best team in the ACC?
I think they are. FSU playing like they did now, are now, is close. But Carolina knocked them out of the tournament, I think. Carolina is playing well. The SEC, how about number 1, Vanderbilt, and number 2 overall, Texas, getting knocked out. Now, the SEC, it looks like they're going to lose Oklahoma, but they could get 3 other teams in tonight. That would give them 5. If you get 5 out of the final 16, that's nothing to sneeze at. But Vanderbilt and Texas, you thought they would at least get super regionals.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. Vanderbilt has, and I heard from a guy today at Saturday Down South, who made 2 interesting points about this. He said, one, Vandy Terry has played all these 1-run games the whole year.
Yeah.
And after a while, when you play 1-run games, they come back to bite you in the butt at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
But I mean, my Lord, to lose to Wright State, and Wright State probably is really good.
Yeah.
But it's still embarrassing. This is Adam Spencer. And Spencer said, the problem with Texas is kind of folded down the stretch.
They have.
Yes.
They haven't played well. Texas has not played well.
No, is that accurate, you think?
It is very accurate. I don't want to take away from Florida when they went up to Austin and won the series, but Texas wasn't playing good when Florida went up there. I watched all 3 of those games. They've lost their spark a little bit, and they're home, because of it. I'll tell you another story. I think I saw it all over the country, and both offensively and defensively, the bunt. Nobody can bunt, and nobody can defend the bunt. It's comical. All of a sudden, the bunt has gone out of style. Everybody wants to hit a home run. Everybody wants to strike everybody out or pop them up. All of a sudden, guys can't bunt on offense. And then when they do get a bunt down, it was comical. Not just Florida. They butchered a bunch. I watched a bunch of teams. They could not defense the bunt. They never do it until postseason play.
Now, look, that brings up a good point. Explain that to our folks about what you're talking about is playing small ball.
Well, small ball, and generally, and I know there's some even in a 13-12 game, that's probably a tight game.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of runs on the board, but it's probably going to get into the 9th inning, 12-11.
Yeah.
And you're running out of outs, you're running out of innings, and okay, you get a guy on base. You're like, man, we might this 3-run homer may not happen. We may need to get him in scoring position and take 2 cracks at it. Well, you haven't bunted all year hardly. And all of a sudden now, with not just a series on the line, your season on the line, you're asking a guy to, and generally they butcher the bunt. If they get it down, the defensive team hasn't fielded bunts all year hardly. They're throwing it around like, it's comical that one of the basic tenets of baseball for 100 years, the bunt is out of the game. And then and you see it in Major League postseason as well. Sometimes those games will be 3-2, and man, it's you're down to 4 outs. You got to get that guy, and they can't do it, and they don't field it either.
No,
terrible.
really,
it was terrible this weekend.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Terry, please explain to me. Florida's got one of the best coaches in America.
Yeah,
but his and maybe we don't know the story about that. I'm sure you've seen that like I have.
Yeah, he was wrong.
What in the world that would cause him to? And he just went off on Terry. It wasn't even necessarily coach. It was just some kind of
administrative
representative, right?
Yeah, it was. From what I understand, it was somebody with the Coastal Carolina Athletic Department. they're hosting the tournament. They're hosting the regional, and I don't know if it might have been an NCAA official as well, but he had It wasn't anywhere near. Basically, they moved the game in the 11th hour, an hour later. It had been broadcast that Florida was going to play the next day. The winner was going to play the next day at noon.
No.
At noon. It was posted. I saw it on TV many times. I saw it posted on several sites I go to, just double checking for the next day. Well, TV dictated they wanted to squeeze in the squeeze play show for an hour. Right. So Florida, their game got moved back to 12. So East Carolina did get a break. They got an hour break. They played until 11:45 at night. Yeah. And then they had to turn around. If you're Kevin O'Sullivan, you're fine with them having to come back at noon. You were at your hotel at 7.
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, they got an extra hour because for TV, and O'Sullivan went off, and he was wrong about that. That was Kevin O'Sullivan. It's been a long year. He's pieced this thing together. It's been just sports. Sometimes you just have one of those injury years.
Yeah,
but he was wrong, and it was caught on tape. He was wrong. I thought I think that was an easy. He was wrong.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I would just. I mean, he knows better than that. But no doubt it's been a really frustrating year for them. And look, Terry, I would have thought it would be, forgive me here, but I would have thought that would have been more acceptable if he would have done that after the game, after he saw what his team did.
Yes, that's a good point. I'll tell you another team that, I got close vision of this, close look at this. They just weren't playing well, and I saw them when they played in Gainesville. Alabama wasn't playing good ball. In Hoover, Alabama, and you can't predict it, but Alabama's better than what they showed in the Florida series, in Hoover, and certainly in Alabama. Just wasn't playing good ball, were they?
Well, the thing with Alabama is they don't do the little things to win games, and that really hurt them.
Like Bunt?
Yeah, thank you. And see that they had a thing, Terry. They're up 5-3 in the 8th, and they're cruising, and just basically they fell apart at that point. And look, and could have beat Miami to start that regional. I mean, congrats to Miami. That's not a great team.
Oh no, this is an average Miami team. Average.
And Terry, if you remember that. Alabama on their last at bat. I mean, they were 2 feet away from winning the game.
Literally, that was baseball gods can be cruel. Alabama, and that was Miami's star ace reliever Walters, who's nasty. That guy hit the ball. The last out for Alabama went 399, and it needed to go 401. Yeah. I mean, he was on the wall, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I agree. But they really flamed out when they need. But again, what was their fault, Terry, is, and some Alabama media told me, all they had to do was win 2 more games, and they would have hosted a regional.
How about that? Yeah,
being on the road.
Yeah, little bit of that you could say about Florida too. You wonder if they heard about the last, and we helped this. They heard so many people say Florida's almost going to host in Gainesville, and then they didn't. and then they didn't. I don't think they needed one more win. I agree with that. They didn't deserve it.
Now,
Go ahead.
I know we've commented on this before, but I'm in love with that squeeze play thing.
That's unbelievable.
That is Terry. Can't college football do that?
Yeah, you wonder. And that damn squeeze play. Well, I'll back up a little bit. College football, all the great games are not under one tent, if you will. A bunch of different networks, so it's easier. Like squeeze play is basically college baseball's red zone.
Exactly.
And the red zone. The reason the red zone happens, the NFL owns all that programming. So of course somebody goes, "Hey, let's do the scoring plays." Well, that's the concept of baseball. Now the tournament is all under one roof, baseball. So you can, if you try to do that in college football, it'd be hard to get. I don't think you could do live on SEC Network if it's Big Ten game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they're all scattered on different networks. You couldn't go live. Well, let's go to the Horseshoe. Ohio State's about to score on Penn State.
Yeah.
Where would that game, that red zone, be broadcasting? If it's SEC, they can't do it, and vice versa. Live stuff. They can do highlighted stuff, but not live.
Well, but for what the squeeze play does,
it's great.
If people aren't aware of that, if you want to keep up with games, that's why they can have 4 games at a time on the screen.
It is great,
and they do a incredible job.
And they've gotten good at it.
They really are.
That Mike Rooney has done it for several years. Chris Burke I could listen to him talk baseball forever. The young lady, I don't know, but she's carved out the niche, and they got a good feel now. They got a good feel. Well, let's go to Fayetteville. There's something going on second and third, and they take the broadcast.
Yeah. That's
for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's Chris Budden who does.
Chris Budden, she's carved out a nice niche.
You're right. You're right about that. That has worked well for her. So and look, I think you'll agree with this. The ESPN platforms have helped softball and baseball.
Oh, immensely.
Maybe as much as any sport in the SEC anywhere.
Immensely. And let me tell you something. Don't think that, particularly the SEC, because they play such high-level softball.
Yeah.
Don't think that the SEC, the last 10, 15 years on that network, with that game growing, that had something to do with the Athletes Unlimited Softball League that Major League Baseball has bought into. I can't wait for that. I think you've heard about this, right? The softball league that MLB just announced that they have an ownership stake in. Professional softball.
That's amazing. I'm glad. Look, I was talking to a former high school baseball coach at the gym the other day, and I said, "Are you keeping up with college baseball?" He said, "Look, I'll be the first to tell you, I'd rather watch college softball now with baseball." Terry, I know we've had this discussion before. I mean, softball is almost like basketball. You can wrap it up in what, two and a half hours?
Yeah, a really long. Postseason games tend to go long in any sport. It means more, right? Really, really long college softball game is 2.5 hours. Yeah. That extra half hour and even 2.5 is very, very doable. I think the softball girls play their sport at a more talented level than the basketball girls. I can't. You can't. How many times can you watch a two-handed push shot from the hip, a fumbled away fast break, a missed it's that damn WNBA. I would watch professional softball and follow these girls that you got to know a little bit.
Absolutely.
way before WNBA, and it's going to be interesting to see where this goes, where this softball league goes.
Well, and look, this time of year, people are waiting on something to watch. I mean, be it good or bad, the spring football professional leagues. Does anybody watch that at all at this point?
I didn't even bother. I used to get I got the numbers all season. I didn't even bother. This was the last regular season weekend. It has been an unmitigated disaster. The other last week, Memphis, they reported 2,044 was their reported attendance.
Man.
2,000 in Memphis, which is a fairly big city. 2,044 were the reported attendance in the Liberty Bowl that seats 44,000 or whatever.
Which means there were what there, 500?
Oh my God, it's hard. 2,044. Brent, we've got. We'll have a lot of baseball to talk about. Right now, I'm riding Arkansas. I think they're a really good baseball team, and God dang, they're due. They've never won one. Won one. Real quick, also before we get out, Brent, you saw Tennessee got put out of softball. Texas got a home run late. Texas moves on. It's Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech left in softball.
Man.
How about that?
And listen, real quick, we're still, Lord, when will this ever end? Well, we're still waiting on Judge Wilkins to sign off on the House versus Nation.
Come on, Judge.
That's supposed to be any minute now. And oh, by the way, we're waiting on this too. College football magazines.
Getting close.
Athlon should be on the stands this week, and Lindy's National Magazine, June 3rd, is supposed to be on the stands.
That's tomorrow. That is tomorrow. Good stuff, Brent Beard. We'll do it again a little bit later in the week. That'll wrap it up. We'll get back together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, live from Hurricane in Jewington Creek. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok.